Kathy McLeish in Brisbane. What began as a small idea to raise funds for a remote Aboriginal community has become a huge success. The people of Jilkmingen decided to set up an op shop and took to social media to put out the call for second-hand donations. Now, what happened next surprised everyone involved and has sparked a new business model for other nearby communities. Amelia Terzin reports.
Alright, tell me where you want it.
They're commonplace in the cities, but the humble op shop is making a big impact in a tiny outback community in the middle of the Northern Territory. This one is stocked with goods donated by people from all across the country.
I feel a bit nervous and stuff, but it's good. Like for the first time I got shocked when this happened.
The new shop holds more than clothing. It's a way for the women who work here to build a future. In Jilkmingen, jobs are scarce and unemployment is high. Many locals are employed 5 days a week as part of federal government work for the dole schemes.
We used to go buy some paint and brush while doing it at our home. And we used to make lots of necklace and earring, take it to the market in Mataranka and Kashran.
Attempts by some of the community's women to sell art and traditional items have been hindered by a lack of funds and having no place to work.
We just stay home, sitting, just doing nothing.
In November, the local Indigenous corporation turned an empty store into an art centre. But they needed money to buy the materials they needed to make the art, and they needed help with how to achieve that. So the community asked an Indigenous business support group, Enterprise Learning Projects, ELP, to come help them brainstorm ideas.
The women were just sitting here and they had a little bit of paint, a little bit of material to sew, and they didn't have much. The conversation was about trying to get the ladies to tell us what their dreams were. What would they want to do with this building? Or what sort of job they can create for the community and create for themselves, you know?
And we came up with the idea collectively that we wanted to run an op shop here that would then create the seed funding to be able to buy more materials and then in turn also give people the grounding in business they could then use in their own enterprises.
But with no second-hand clothing to sell in the town, Tanya Egerton decided to enlist the help of her Sydney-side friend. At her Bondi hair salon, Kelly Wright was more than happy to collect a couple of bags of clothing.
And I thought it was a brilliant idea, and the empowerment of the women, and you know, working with such a remote community, I was hook, line and sinker. So within a couple of days she got me the artwork and we started posting. And within 48 hours it was at 25,000 shares. So we were inundated with questions and people wanting to know how they can help and get involved.
Hundreds of people wanted to donate and word spread to salons across the country.
I had all the salons phoning me, telling me that they were so inundated with donations that they actually had no more capacity in the salons to put the clothing. So then anxiety sets in. Like there's no more drop-offs now because we've got to get it shipped.
The women were eventually offered storage sponsorship. Then a shipment company got on board too, offering to take 500 boxes of clothing donated from the Gold Coast to Adelaide and deliver them to a tiny community at the top of Australia. The boxes were dropped here in Katherine, a country town a few hours from Jilkmingen.
You know, sunglasses and shoes and kids' clothes. We just packed such an enormity, 250 boxes in Sydney alone and then nationally. So the fact that they're all arriving this week is just overwhelming.
There are so many boxes that only a tiny portion can be taken for the opening at Jilkmingen. But it's still enough to fill an entire store.
We thought Kenya was going to bring only a couple of clothes, and we didn't know that she was bringing more and more clothes for us. Yeah, all those lady when they're working in the art center, they was really happy for that.
For sleep, something to go and sleep.
Have you ever seen clothing like this before?
No, first time.
Amid the sorting, the women are also learning essential business skills to help them into the future.
Yeah, so all of these need prices as well.
As the shop opens, the customers roll on in.
We usually go down in Castro and Mataranka to buy clothes, but sometimes it's very hard to get in town. But now we're very happy that we got our own clothes shop.
When they started donating the clothes, I felt in my own personal life that there are people out there who cares and who wants to help.
The money raised will be used to help the local women set up an art stall at the nearby Barunga Festival in June. They'll also set up pop-up stores in other towns, and they'll even donate clothing to other remote communities to help them in similar ways.
I'm not wealthy, I can't give lots of money, but I can connect and be a part of something that's way bigger than myself.
We were expecting just people around Catherine or Darwin or anyway, just a little bit. But now it got bigger, really big, and it shocked us. I was in tears when I heard it because something like this happened in a community. It is very different, and it's so hard how people live. It's not easy to find those things when you're in a remote community like this. It's so hard.
Amelia Turson in the top end.